Stop letting everyone get to you so much.
Yeah.
Just stop focusing on how everyone else thinks about you and what they might say about you or whatever. Just, I don't know, stay true to yourself.
Yeah, don't focus on the bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
so many
It'll
people
take you down with it.
Yeah, so there's so much bullshit that people will advertise to you, especially nowadays. It's for clicks. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And drama and negativity is a great way to get clicks, and you gotta focus on the things that are positive and productive, and not just kind of let yourself kind of go down the rabbit hole of just being, just trying to find problems instead of kind of looking at the positive and appreciating what you have and appreciating, the kind of what you have,
Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Music Matters in That podcast. I'm your host, Brian. And today we'll have some special guests from the West Coast. Look with the boys from Glitchkill. How you all doing today?
Good. How you doing?
Not too bad. It was a nice sunny day out here too, because actually we got hit with a little bit of a storm yesterday, but that seemed to help get the smoke screen out of the way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's been pretty hot out here, man.
Which part of the world are you guys hailing from?
California, like Central Valley, California.
Born and raised?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much based out of here. We actually record everything where we're sitting right now.
Yep.
Jam in the garage. He lives, 20, 30 minutes from here?
Yeah, not too far.
That's cool. And just to fill in the audience, we welcome the boys, Aaron and Travis. So, yep. I guess, what you boys put up to recently in terms of the band?
Well, we just released our next single off of the newest album we're doing on Sentient, called Death to the Fleshless. We just did the music video the other day, so that's probably the highlight of our month so far.
Yeah, that just came out, like 2 days ago?
On the 16th.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. Give a nice little shout out right there and a nice round of applause for everybody right there. Congrats there. So let's just go and talk a little or actually do a little promo for that song there too. So I guess what's it about and what was kind of the influence and the sound there too?
Oh man, well, I kind of wish Rob was here for that one because he's the one behind the lyrics and the theme set for it and stuff like that. But basically, from my understanding, is it's more of the last album was the AI takeover, so to speak, and then this one is going to be about the revolution fighting back against the AI takeover. So that's basically what I got from it.
Yeah. So basically the name is Death to the Fleshless, and the fleshless being the machines, the AI, the kind of the fleshless, and so it's basically the battle against the AI, or the fight against the
retake
AI.
Our home.
So in other words, Terminator. Is that where we're going with this?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Yeah, very
but the
much.
Terminator's a monkey, so.
Now the roles have flipped in a way. So
it's like Planet of the Apes, but the apes are AI and robots.
I think next thing I do is, since you mentioned Planet of the Apes, if you're looking at the original one, just like have a scene where it shows like the Statue of Liberty buried beneath the sand and the beaches there. So yeah. The whole why? So, all right, that's all cool there too. So, we'll get more to the music and everything else here too, just a little bit. But first off, boys, welcome to my podcast. And the way it's going to work is, I just want to ask you guys some questions and get to know you more, both as the musicians, but also as the individuals as well here too. So, y'all ready?
What are we doing?
I was gonna say you're getting ready to answer some questions. So,
of course. Sorry, I had a little bit of trouble hearing you for a second.
Sorry, I have a soft voice. So, all right. Is that good? I'll take your silence as a yes. So, all right. So I guess how do you want to do this? Travis or Aaron? Which one do you want to go first?
Either one. Don't matter.
Sure.
All right. In that case, Travis, I guess tell the audience your backstory of how you became a musician.
Well, I started playing when I was really young, actually. I was probably 8 when I first started getting into guitar, like wanting to start playing guitar. Started getting into it with just kind of whatever was around me at the time, which was like old, like Eric Clapton and stuff like that. And kind of my uncle's old acoustic guitar. So I was, always kind of very interested in it. And started definitely diverging into metal like as soon as I could. Around, started kind of seeking it out when I was maybe 12, 13, maybe younger. Started kind of really deep diving. Started even playing in bands when I was maybe 14 or so. First time starting a band, playing in a band, and have kind of just been diving deeper and deeper ever since, really. Was always a huge gearhead. Just always kind of loved. No one in my family was really into metal. I was they were all in like country and blues and stuff like that, which is kind of how I got started in guitar, was kind of listening to like blues artists and stuff. But as soon as I started like hearing kind of different heavy stuff, I was just like, oh yeah, that's where it's at. So really kind of just went full on, head on into that rabbit hole and never looked back pretty much. So
I do have to ask, was it Metallica that kind of got you started in the more heavier metal?
I got to admit, it actually very much was. It definitely actually can kind of remember the first time. I was already kind of like into guitar and into like different kind of stuff that I could pick out that I would, was around me. But a buddy of mine first showed me Metallica, and I can remember that moment, and that like almost changed my life, because from there it was just like, okay, who else can I find? Who else is out there? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I still to this day kind of like credit them with kind of starting me down that journey. Still, actually, to this day, a big Metallica fan. Went and saw them last summer at Santa Clara on the M72, so that was pretty cool.
That's good to hear. All right, and I guess Aaron, what's your backstory?
So pretty much the same. I started very early, but that was more because my parents, they were musicians, they had bands. I'd always go out and watch them play live in the bars and get my little Coke with cherries and stuff. But probably around 5, I picked up the drumsticks. But I didn't actually play metal until I was probably about 18. I played a lot of hip hop and R&B stuff before, and then I got into metal, same Metallica, probably about when I was 14, 15. Big Pantera fan, probably my biggest influence of drumming right there. And then started my first band when I was about 18, senior in high school. And then after that, straight metal all the way through, Metal has always been my biggest outlet because I used to have a lot of anger problems. So drumming and then metal, perfect combination for getting all that excess anger out. Now I'm a pretty peaceful guy.
I used to have a short temper, but now metal has kind of been my own little therapy. So now
definitely.
I'm a chill.
It works as a great outlet.
I just trick question. Since you both mentioned Metallica, do you remember which song I was like, holy shit, this band's legit. I gotta listen to these guys more.
First album I listened to was the Black Album, and I don't remember the name of it, but I know it wasn't one. Because that was the one everyone loved and like everyone talked about. But it was one of the more obscure ones. I don't remember the name though.
Yeah, for me it was like Master of Puppets. Like I remember that. I want to say the first song was probably like Sanitarium, where I was just like, holy crap, and that like it kind of got me started off. But yeah, that whole album for me just completely changed it for me. Like I said, kind of started me down the rabbit hole.
I don't know if California had a similar radio station, because I'm based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and when I was young, between 5 and 6, there was a whole radio station that was just straight Metallica, the whole hour right there too. So
they had like a day or something like that.
Yeah, they would do. I remember
Rock 96.7.
Wasn't it? There was one of them that they would do a mandatory Metallica, which was like which was like an hour or so.
Yeah,
but yeah, at that point, I was just kind of buying everything I could find. Like, if it sounded heavy, if it had a cool looking, album cover, heavy looking album cover, I was like, all right, let's check it out. Let's see what it's about. So
actually, I bring that up because technically the first song, even though I listened to maybe a couple of the ones, I wasn't like fully invested into it. But I remember No Remorse. That was the one that kind of got me hooked. So, needless to say, killer song.
Yeah.
So. All right. So, technically, is Metallica still kind of an influence in this group right here? Or I guess who you guys kind of looked up to?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's definitely an influence just in my overall playing, just because that was one of the first, like when I was really started playing metal guitar, that was learning a lot of Metallica songs. But as far as like writing these days, I wouldn't say that Metallica songs are necessarily trying to inspire Glitchkill songs.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of what we're doing is very, very kind of, at least attempting to be kind of a meld of like modern with some like kind of old school heavy metal. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's necessarily one of the big influences in what we're writing, other than being an overall influence in my particular playing. But I know.
Yeah, same here.
I guess in that case, who wants to do the honor of giving the history for Glitchkill in this case? So I guess were you guys original members?
So yeah, me and him and our bass player David Crusher, we started the band 2019, at the end of 2019.
Yeah. Right
before COVID hit. So that kind of that put a dampener on things about getting together, practicing, but it actually helped us build.
Gave us a lot of time.
And we really started focusing and working like digitally away from each other through the computer. He'll send guitar tracks, I'll put drums to it, and we'll still kind of be productive and get things done. And then what was it? When did we have to part ways? We ended up parting ways with our vocalist at that time.
Yeah, our previous vocalist. That was actually probably fairly recent. That was about a year ago.
Yeah, about a year ago. And then our second guitarist, Rob, actually ended up picking up the vocalist spot. So, which
I'm sure you'll see if you go through any of our content. You'll notice that there's a different guy there that was there previously. But
then we probably about a month ago we picked up our next second guitarist, Tim Jackson, beast of guitar player right there. But yeah, that basically is just the quick version of the 5 years.
Yeah, it's been 7. Almost 7. Yeah, coming up on 7. But yeah, this is the latest release, that Death to the Fleshless, is really the first thing we put out with this current lineup.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I would say it's the first thing that's indicative of the sound you're going to hear kind of going forward. And so kind of what you're going to, what you can expect.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure there wasn't like another group that also had Glitchkill too, but I think one of the songs was Rain and Spite.
Yeah, Rain and Spite, yeah.
Okay. I was to say that vocalist, he was looking kind of like the Bane, sort of going right there with the mask on and everything.
Hey.
Yeah.
So, but he was your first vocalist, and he was just probably.
he had stayed with us for like 4 or 5 years.
He was with us for quite a while.
He really helped kind of define the venture for us, and as far as like the whole AI theme stuff like that, he's the one that helped.
Yeah, as far as kind
get
of
a lot of that
theme
going.
and the story. But I don't know. I feel like it's definitely. I feel like this lineup is definitely the strongest lineup that we've had so far, and kind of the one.
Definitely the way we want to be moving forward.
The one we like to kind of keep moving forward and everything.
Yeah.
So, they're not. Yeah, I really wish they were here right now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But did you guys release any material before COVID had hit, or did you just kind of mess around a little bit?
We
were working on material as COVID hit. Like we kind of at the point where we had actually me and Aaron and Crusher, the bass player, had played together previously in a different band that had done a bunch of stuff, and it was good together for a few years, a band called Ice and Stone.
Yeah.
And so that band broke up. We kind of were doing different stuff, and Crusher and Aaron and I I think it was Crusher, our bass player, who first set us up and was like, "Hey, let's do something."
Mm-hmm.
And so it started with us, hitting up us, both of us, and kind of were in the process. We spent several months trying to find a singer, the original singer. Didn't have a second guitar player for that. Didn't come till years later. But ended up spending a couple months trying to find the original singer. So we're in the kind of creative songwriting kind of building process when COVID hit.
Yeah.
And so once that hit, we were like, all right, well, I guess we're writing an album. We're not playing shows, obviously. So
might as well, yeah.
So I guess we're writing an album. So that's when our very first album basically got written, was during COVID, when we really had nothing to do but write.
Yeah.
And so we're all kind of constant writers anyway. That's not something we really struggled to do. We're all kind of constantly coming up with stuff, constantly making new riffs, and right now we have a backlog of songs we want to get to and stuff written already that we're trying to be able to kind of record and play live and everything. But so get that kind of being in the creative process right as that hit really kind of gave us time to end up writing full set, full album.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of getting really the chance to kind of kickstart right off the bat there.
I see. But I guess you guys have mentioned COVID a couple of times. I guess so we know what was going on music wise. I guess how bad was COVID for you guys on a personal and family level?
It was it hurt me as far as my work goes, but me personally, luckily I was never sick. My family was never sick. My kid wasn't sick or nothing. But it didn't really affect me too much. So
yeah, I was actually fairly unaffected, other than kind of what we were all globally affected to. But I still worked full time. Still, didn't have anyone in my family have any illness, didn't have any really bad illness myself.
Thankfully.
Yeah. But it didn't really affect my time, other than not having much else to do but write music.
And that's what helped us get Glitchkill going. So
that's good to hear. But good to see you and the families are safe out there too. So good to have you boys along here for a ride. So all right. We get back into Glitchkill, I guess. Who came up with the name?
So I don't remember who came up with the name.
We've kind of been rolling around different names for a while.
Yeah, and then we ended up just throwing them all in a hat and just seeing which one won out.
Didn't have kind of a bunch that we. Yeah, I think we ended up doing like a vote, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we didn't have a bunch that we were like, we came up with a bunch of different stuff and didn't have anything that was really, really, really stood out or anything.
Yeah.
And so we took kind of the 5 or so ones I think that we liked the most, and ended up doing like a vote tally, like a 1, 2, 3, and whatever one had the most like points.
Yeah.
Basically, and it was the one that won. Yeah, and we all kind of liked that one because
it was vague, but it described us in a sense because we're all gamer nerds. So it really it resonated with us, and it was nice because it wasn't defined to any one thing. You know, we could kind of build from that.
I guess speaking of which, is video games kind of the big hobby outside the music and whatever your jobs are?
Yeah, definitely.
I guess which ones you kind of get into? You more the fantasy, or you like the shoot 'em up ones?
I don't really play that much anymore, actually, because I'm usually busy here, either at work or with the family or in the studio. So I don't really play as much as I'd like to. When I do, actually, these days I play a lot of racing games. I've been playing the Forza whenever I have time, which isn't a whole lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. The guys that weren't able to make it today
they play more games than us, actually.
Are really kind of the bigger gamers than we are.
Yeah, I've been more probably of like you said, fantasy, probably like Skyrim, stuff like that. Old RTS games I still love too, like StarCraft and stuff like that. So
that's cool. You know, I still have the God of War games, and I also want to get into Elden Ring too. So there's something about it. It's like the games these days are so metal, man. When it comes to
a lot of them are like the same though too. They feel the same in a sense. It's like they're just trying to pump them out. But
somehow I think they get a good selling point across. If it's high action, holy acrobatics or moves right there, but you're also able to like beat people up to like finishing moves, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's like hit the button, finish him, that whole deal. So
combos.
That whole deal. All right. So I guess since we touched on some pretty hard topics there, I guess let's go and jump to the fun topic of gear. So I guess what do you guys use for this project?
So I'm using, actually I've had this kit for like 12 years, but I swear by Yamaha drums. That's what I typically like to use. As far as cymbals, I would say I have more on the Sabians, sometimes Zildjian. What I have now is Sabian and Zildjian, and it's a 7-piece drum kit that I'm running.
I've been using kind of a combination of LTD, like ESP LTD guitars, and Ibanez. I'm a huge fan of Ibanez, so those kind of always been my go-tos. I've got a few different ones I can go to. For amp, I'm a huge fan of Mesa Boogie amps. I've got, actually sitting right here, I've got my Mark V, I've got my Badlander, I've got my other rectifier. I use a EVH Stealth, the 5150 little 50 watt Stealth. I actually really like that amp, and so I take that amp out of quite a bit too. Just yesterday, actually, for the first time at our, we had a battle of the bands actually yesterday that we actually took third place at.
Third place on that one, yeah.
Yeah.
We got the bronze.
Got it. Yeah, we got the bronze.
But I used the new Line 6 Helix Stadium for the first time for that show, and it actually sounded pretty good. So yeah, I always record like on Death to the Fleshless, the one we just put out recently, a couple days ago. That is a combination of my Mark V and the EVH 5150 Stealth. So I'm basically reamping mine through the Mark V, and I've got Tim running through the Stealth. And then I think there's a kind of a couple of parts where it kind of drops, and there's just like a solo kind of centered guitar, just be kind of during a break almost, and those are done with my other dual rectifier. But yeah, predominantly see,
He's always playing something different every time.
I'm playing something different all the time. Really, kind of just depending on.
He's like, today I'm going to use the 5150.
Yeah. So, but I feel like really the kind of some of the sounds that encompass what Glitchkill sounds like, though, are probably the Mark V and the 5150 Stealth.
That's cool. So I guess this Battle of the Bands, is this some sort of contest they normally do on a regular basis?
So far it's been 2 years. They did it last year and then they did it this year. But yeah, 16 bands, they compete for a cash prize at the end. But yeah, it's usually pretty fun because we're all like pretty close family as far as the musicians go. So it's like a little friendly competition, you know.
Yeah, it's based out of Central Valley, so it's a lot of, especially being musicians as long as we have in this. You know, I've been playing gigs in this area for almost 30 years, so most of the guys showing up to these, you know, we know, we're familiar with. So it's really fun to kind of get to, you know, hang out with all these guys, and it's, you know, it's fun to compete, but at the same time, you're just all happy for each other and everything.
It's really cool seeing the younger generation starting to come out and build their name in the scene. You know, that's pretty cool. Makes me feel old.
Yeah.
Now it's like, Jesus, I'm old. That whole deal.
Yeah.
So, but this question kind of does go back to COVID, but it's more so with the music scene in general. So it's good to see this Battle of the Bands thing here too. But from your perspective, since COVID, I guess, how's the music scene been from where you guys are at, and I guess whatever other venues you played at in California?
The music scene here took a pretty big hit, to be honest with you. A lot of the places and venues we would play got shut down because they couldn't keep the doors open. So now thankfully, they're starting to get some more venues coming up, but it's pretty slim here in Modesto where we are.
Yeah.
We always have to go out to Sacramento and all these other towns because we really don't have much here. We have, I think, one venue so far that is playing some shows and stuff like that. But shout out to the promoters here too, because I know it's tough and you're trying, but very limited space as far as that goes.
Yeah, I mean, that's always ultimately the goal, is to kind of be getting out and about and everything. Which will be in Sacramento, a couple weekends from now.
On the 8th of August, we'll be in Sacramento. Over at the Goldfield.
You know, it's always disappointing to see your local scene and your local venues and kind of stuff not really be there. Especially, it's a great way for, you know, other bands around here that are maybe trying to do more, but it's a great way to like test stuff out and kind of try out new songs and kind of, you know,
see reactions.
Kind of, stuff. You know, cut the teeth a little bit. And check out reactions and stuff like that. And so just, you know, you may not be trying to stay here, but you always want the scene to be kind of, you know, really thriving and good. And it's definitely got a little bit of traction.
A little bit more,
better, but yeah, it definitely took a hit.
That's kind of a shame. But I guess outside some of the groups you guys saw at Battle of the Bands, are you also seeing a fair amount of cover and tribute bands as well?
Being in California, there's quite a bit of tribute bands and cover bands, especially like more in LA that you go to. Obviously Vegas, they're gonna have a ton of cover bands. But I mean, as far as here, not too many. A lot of
bands that will throw in covers, but not necessarily.
They still play their original stuff as well.
You know, unless you're just going to the bar scene or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I guess, have you guys done any covers?
No, actually. In this entire time, we've talked about it for years and years and years. And we've actually just said, like, hey, we should at least like have a couple songs in our back pocket that we know, just to, you know, throw out there for fun, or, you know, whatever it might be. And to this date, we've
thrown a lot of names out there for covers we would want to do, but never actually fulfilled that.
I feel like one of the reasons we've never really had a time where it wasn't like next song. And so we've never had a time where we were like, so dry on our own material
Yeah.
that we felt like we had time or needed to work on a cover.
Yeah.
Even though we've all kind of wanted to, but it's always just been like, okay, that was, we recorded that one. What's the next one? What's the next one we're working on?
Yeah.
So.
I'd say, well, of course, Vegas. Not going to bring a death metal band to jam out in MGM. So,
okay.
I don't know. It would be nice, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. So, actually, when in doubt, play Free Bird.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, you know what? I've been meaning to ask about the music videos you guys have done. So, obviously, Death to the Fleshless and Rain and Spite. I don't know, maybe you've done all together, but go ahead, talk about those two.
So, yeah, Rain and Spite, I think that was our first video we did. We actually recorded all that ourselves.
I think that was definitely the first, at least, video filmed video with us playing and everything that we did.
And we've done like lyric videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, we were kind of traditionally doing lyric videos before that.
Rain and Spite was the first one. We were like, you know what? Let's try and do this ourselves. Mm-hmm. And we bought the cameras and we did the lighting and did all that ourselves.
Tempted to.
And I did all the editing, which I'll never do again because that shit sucks. But and then we actually had Tempest was our next music video that we did.
Yeah.
That we paid cinematographer.
Yeah, we paid someone to come out and like film it and everything.
Went out into the middle of nowhere and picked a spot.
Yeah, found a spot.
And then and then Death to the Fleshless, which is the newest one with the new current lineup. Which, if you listen to like Tempest and then you put on Death to the Fleshless, like you wouldn't even think they're the same band, to be honest.
In a lot of ways, it's kind of is, but it's not.
Yeah. You can definitely hear the change in direction that we're going.
Sometimes though, with music videos, I keep thinking of Cow Decapitation's little 3 music videos they put together for like Your Disposal, Monolith, and Kingdom of Tyrants. So that one kind of had like a little bit of story with like flashing of the band playing in the background. So I guess when you guys were just trying to do these music videos, did you just wanted to mess around, or was there some sort of concept or theme that you were trying to show the audience?
I think a lot of the time when we're thinking about music videos, it's not so much the, I guess, particular theme of the video as it is the type of video
and the feeling you get from
it. Because these days you can create so much different types of content that where it's more, it's like, is it going to be a lyric video? Is it going to be a live video? Is it going to be like, what
a playthrough video?
It's going to be like a playthrough. So we actually did that.
We did
a couple of videos ago for a song called Bound and Dragged, where it was like the music video for it was kind of just us all doing playthroughs kind of cut together. And kind of made like a collage collaborative playthrough video for it. And so a lot of the time it kind of starts with, well, what kind of video is it going to be? Is it going to be, is it actually going to feature us? Is it going to be all just digital with like lyrics or, kind of like that? And so we try to kind of spread it out, so to speak, where we're not just doing the same thing all the time. You're not going to get a same, you're not going to get a lyric video all the time. You're not going to get a live video all the time. It's going to be different for different songs. Just kind of
whatever suits the kind of feeling you get from that song. Like definitely Death to the Fleshless, the video that we did for that was perfect because it's supposed to be a little darker, heavier, stuff like that, more sporadic and stuff. So
I'd say in Rain and Spite, I would say someone had some sweaty palms right there at the beginning. So sorry, not your fault too, but at the same time, it's like, yep, there's some sweaty palms going on right there too. But
yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely had to clean my guitar after that one.
Yeah.
Got all greasy in that too. All right. But nonetheless, it was a killer job you guys did out there too. So but But I guess we're going to jump into challenges in this case. So these days, being part of this band, Glitchkill, I guess what challenges do you feel like you guys face?
I mean, I wouldn't say too many. A lot of it is us. Our biggest challenge is sometimes ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, pushing ourselves to go further, do more. You know, stuff like that. Especially since we're all working full time.
Yeah, I would say
You know,
that's kind of a lot of it at our ages and everything. Really, working full time, kind of having families, and several of us have kids, and just really. We've been passionate about it our whole lives, and so it's something we kind of try to put a lot of time into, but balancing that with full-time work and your families and everything else is kind of the most challenging part of it. As far as actually doing it, technology has kind of made it the best time. We've both been doing it for a long time, and this is kind of the greatest time to be doing it because you have to, you can pretty much do everything yourself these days.
Definitely.
It's definitely the kind of era where the sky's the limit, kind of, so to speak, depending on just really how much time and effort you want to put into it, because the stuff's, everything's accessible now. So that's just having the time to do those things as adults with families and full-time jobs is really just the most challenging part.
Yeah, definitely agree.
He's like, damn it, Travis, you took all my thunder. So yeah. Well, I guess, so you guys, I know you mentioned about that little tour, or I guess the one show you're doing in Sacramento in August, but I guess outside of that, you just mainly sticking in the state of California. You might go to neighboring Nevada or up north to Oregon.
Actually, we have a show in Reno, Nevada, August 28th, 9th, I think. August 29th.
Whatever one's a Saturday.
Yeah.
No, that's going to be a good show, actually.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty good show.
Yeah, at Alturas Bar, I believe, in Reno.
Yeah, we've been out there a couple times before, plus my other band I'm in. We were out there once, too, with the other lineup of Glitch. But yeah, we got that. We almost had Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, there's a Black Bomb Metal Festival, actually.
In Sonora.
Black Bomb coming up in Sonora, California. Coming up once.
That one's the 15th of August. So 3 shows in August.
15th.
We're pretty booked in August. But yeah, that one, the Black Bomb will be with, I don't know if you heard about them, but what is it, American Overdose, I think. Oh. They're a national touring band, and they're like, I would say more like a newer rendition of like Mushroom Head, kind of.
Okay.
It's kind of like what they're going for.
I'd say, so like to go back to the old past days, like the new metal that came out in the late 90s, early 2000s. So
I was always a big fan. Big Slipknot fan, big System fan.
Yeah.
So
I guess at the beginning, did you guys ever do makeup or mask?
well, we're actually kind of slightly discussing our new, I guess you could say, online personas, if you will.
Yeah.
Maybe not the face paint stuff.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be like makeup or mask or anything like that, but we're kind of discussing maybe just more consistent
attire,
I guess. Just because you don't want to look on stage and see the guy that walking down the aisle at the grocery store. You want to see someone kind of like larger than life.
They're going to be there to entertain you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And not make a friend or nothing. But
so we're kind of discussing that a little bit, but that will be coming soon potentially.
Yeah.
Dates are there too, but I also brought that up there too because I know Mudvayne have previously brought back the whole face paint and everything there too. So, this is a revival to say the least to bring back the whole face paint.
Yeah, well, I think just you get a lot of those bands that kind of did that kind of stuff that people still really love and still really want to see. And I saw Mudvayne 25 something years ago, and
Pledge of Allegiance.
somewhere around there. And I'd love to go see him now again. And same with all the all those types of bands, like the guys that were in their teens going and checking out bands like that are now my age, and kind of just trying to go out and see him again.
Definitely.
Would be nice on myself.
I may be 40 years old, but I still got it like it's 2001, bitch.
Yep.
So, all right. But nonetheless, good luck this year, boys, with your shows. All right. So one more question before we jump into some extra fun ones. This one, I know, Travis, you mentioned about technology being good these days, but this is probably the dark side, especially with what we talked about earlier with your theme with AI. So I guess, what do you guys think of AI and social media these days?
I think a lot of things are paved with good intentions and have good applications that could happen, but there's always the people that don't do good things with it, So my personal belief, or I don't know, I'm not a big AI fan at all, especially when it comes to like bands that are doing the whole AI music now. It's like, I don't know, I'm not a big fan.
And obviously, I mean, you can kind of tell by the whole Glitchkill theme with and everything that we're kind of not fans of it, and especially for like kind of creative purposes and everything going like that. But there's definitely potentially places for it and uses for it, and I mean, they're just like any kind of technology, I guess. Really, there's definitely benefits to it.
I think we're going to be too reliant. We're going to get to a point where we forget how to do things because we rely on it so much,
So, but we're against like even for you see a lot of bands nowadays kind of that will use AI art and stuff like that sometimes, just because it's kind of convenient, and to a certain perspective, I kind of get it, because it is convenient, and music nowadays has become so demonetized, I guess, in so many ways as far as the artist is concerned, where we're just putting our stuff out on these different streaming services and everything, and we might make money eventually, kind of, but that's not really why a lot of us are doing it. That's why the guys at the top are doing it, but that the rest of us are still trying to get there. And so like we will always kind of defer. We have a handful of different artists that we work with, like actual real people, artists, human artists.
We could easily put some money into an AI to create the art for us, but we like to still keep it with the people we know. They get paid. It's like a mutual transactions and bartering kind of thing. So
we're trying to keep it kind of human as much as possible.
Well, we could say probably your 2 albums that you probably come out with are like prophetic visions in a way, like how Terminator was.
Well, it's kind of funny because the first album we put out, the first song we put out, Trigger Pull, was actually right before the George Floyd riots and the whole, I don't know how you feel, Antifa movement and stuff like that, which was kind of prophetic in a sense, because his lyrics actually like portrayed some of the things that did happen, which was weird.
Scary stuff, but nonetheless, check carefully. They're good soldiers.
Yeah.
All right. So, boys, we're basically questions here pretty good. So let's jump into some extra fun ones. Ready?
Let's do it.
All right. First off, you want to show off the little ink you guys have on your arms right there? I guess who did the honors of putting the tattoos on?
This was actually our old vocalist, Shane Baltiera. He's the one that did this one. This one was supposed to be more Hellraiser themed, like chains pulling my skin apart. This is my mom's name right here. I was going to get my dad's name and the first band I was ever in on my leg.
I've got, well, this is, so I've got the Hulk right here. I don't know, kind of see Hulk going on right there. And then I've got Spider-Man going on right here. And then there's a little kind of Ant-Man hiding back there. And I grew up on Marvel Comics as a little kid. Reading Marvel Comics back in the late 80s, early 90s and stuff like that. And was always a huge fan and everything. So that's really where that comes from. And then on my other arm here, I got some music kind of going on here. Got a bunch of other random stuff. I got F-holes on my ribs and got more stuff on my legs and everything. But yeah, that's, I think probably my favorite one is kind of my what will eventually be a completely full Marvel sleeve eventually.
So he's just missing the Thor and Captain America and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to get the Captain America kind of shield on my elbow. And then I've got, actually, there is a little Thor up here. It's kind of probably hard to see, but you can kind of see the lightning, and there's like a little Thor, like a little red cape right there. And then, I was going to get the Captain America shield, and I was probably going to get a Wolverine right here, and maybe like Captain America, or not, I was going to do the Iron Man up here, I think, possibly. But in time.
Still get it hard. So yeah. All right. That was all great right there. So I guess in terms of food, do you guys got a particular favorite dish?
No, I love it all. I'm not a picky eater at all, so it's all my favorite.
I'm cliche. I like pizza and burgers. Yeah.
Anything with a lot of cheese, I'm down. I'm good for.
Especially like the melty cheese. I probably put on top
of. It has to be hot cheese, not that cold fridge crap. No, I'm good.
That's for sure there too. All right. But I guess in terms of alcoholic drinks, I guess first off, what you boys been drinking, and are those your favorites?
Coors Light, or not Coors Light, but Coors. That's usually mine. Not because it tastes the greatest, but it's cheaper. But I usually like a lot of like the pale ales and stuff like that.
Yeah, same. I like a lot of bourbons. I like a good bourbon and cigar. I'm a big fan of. Yeah. Actually, did that earlier today. About an hour or two before this interview, did a hangout in my backyard with a nice bourbon and cigar.
Cupid cigar, that whole deal.
Yeah.
Little deal. All right, and I guess favorite non-alcoholic drinks.
Coffee. I eat a lot of black coffee. It's probably
what I drink the most of, because when I go to work, I have my coffee, and after that, it's water. I have to drink a lot of water.
I don't drink a lot of Mountain Dew or a lot of soda, but I will say the Mountain Dew Baja Blast is probably the best soda out there in existence.
I'm a Dr. Pepper guy, I guess.
But
trust me, I'm a doctor. So
yes,
coffee is definitely the one thing.
Yeah, coffee definitely.
Every single day.
Yep, consistently.
At this point, we should say coffee, the lifeblood of every metal band.
Right.
We could also say kryptonite too if they take it away, though. So
yeah, that's fair.
All right, all great choices. I guess in terms of movies and TV shows, I guess between those two categories, you got a particular favorite?
Definitely the Marvel movies. Like always been a big fan of it since I was a kid, watching the early cartoons and stuff. Never really got into the comics, but But as far as the movies, yeah, like I'm so stoked to see Doomsday and fucking Secret Wars and all that stuff. The new Spider-Man coming out, I'm probably gonna go see that. TV shows, I haven't watched TV since I was a kid. So after that, it's been a lot of conspiracy videos and and cartoons.
Yeah, I don't get a chance to watch a lot of the stuff I'd like to watch. My to watch list is really, really long right now. Like Aaron said, I do take my time to go see my Marvel movies. Got my tickets for Spider-Man already coming up. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I would like to kind of catch up on that I just really haven't had a chance to, really haven't had time to. Trying to think if there's been anything like recently that.
The only other TV show that I watched was when they came out with the Wheel of Time. I did watch that because I'm a big Wheel of Time fan. Read all the books, so that was probably the one time I really sat down and watched TV.
I only read the one book, and unfortunately,
oh, you got to read them all, man. They're so good, so good.
I hear a little bit of this and that, almost like maybe the female characters weren't the greatest, but that's just critics kind of talking about that whole deal. So
yeah, it all fits.
It all comes together. So yeah.
Yes.
All right. So great choices. And for the last fun questions, I guess who you guys been listening to? I guess regardless if they're independent or mainstream.
He got me into Alluvial. I've been listening to a lot of Alluvial. A lot of Spite, the band Spite. I've been listening to. And actually recently I just started telling myself, I'm like, I'm going to stop listening to these well-established famous bands because I want to dedicate my viewship to the local bands and hearing them, because that's where the views matter, is a lot of these local bands. So I told myself, I'm no more Spite, no more Alluvial. I'm listening to the bands we played with last week and showing them my support and giving them the support they need.
So, well, now I'm going to look like an asshole. I've a lot of, like you said, Alluvial, Archspire, Shadow of Intent, then a lot of the stuff I've kind of always liked, always kind of thrown in there. Every now and then I still throw some Metallica in there. Still kind of run through some of those solos on my guitar every now and then just for fun. But yeah, as far as like currently, definitely a lot of Archspire recently.
Yeah.
That new album they came out with, Too Fast to Die. That album's badass. In Fury, actually, In Fury, the latest album, came out right around that time. That album's pretty good too. Yeah, it's pretty damn good.
Dude, man, that Archspire drummer, I swear to God,
he's the drummer from In Fury.
Yeah, well, the first guy was killer, and then they got the second guy, and he was the guy from In Fury, right?
Yeah, he's good. Yeah. So, but yeah, the new In Fury album's great too.
Check that one out.
Shadow of Intent, big fan. I mentioned them, but
I think there was one song from I Prevail or something like that I liked. It was pretty good. Not a big I Prevail fan. No offense, you guys.
I can just randomly mention it.
I know, right?
But yeah, those are kind of my go-tos recently.
All right, those are all great choices there. All right, so boys, we're down to one more question in my podcast, but I guess before we jump into it, would you like to ask me one question apiece?
I don't know.
What do you typically, what's your
go-to,
like, as far as let's go like all times and then your currents?
You mean music taste, that sort of deal?
Yeah.
Well, I do drum covers a good bit here too, so unfortunately I have to stick with the old school sort of stuff, but I've done Morbid Angels, Altars of Madness, D-sides.
Okay. That was big for me in my teen years.
I'd say as soon as I'm done with it, I'm going to be like, I hope you all enjoyed it because I am never touching this album again. It's just that. Oh God, Bleeding for the Devil, really. That one was a workout, a cardio workout to say the least. So, but Deicide, Scars of the Crucifix, Immolations, Failures for Gods, and Dark Angels, Darkness Descends is pretty much what I've been listening to in order to really study it and that sort of stuff. Oh, and Cryptopsy's Blasphemy Made Flesh. So, but doing that, and then I sometimes get to if I'm covering more like the bands I would listen to a good bit, like on a road trip, for instance, it would be Between the Buried and Me and Now.
Yeah, I'm a huge Between the Buried and Me fan, actually. Did the VIP with them a couple years ago, and they were all fucking super cool. But yeah, big fan.
I did see them live, but you know what? I had so many shows in May because they came to Pittsburgh in May, and I was just kind of out of it at that point. But I'm concert out, to say the least. So I wish they came at a different time, but oh well. So, but sometimes if I really need a punky mood, I'll throw in some Dying Fetus or Misery Index.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's about it, really. Outside studying indie artists to see what their music's like before we hop on here too. So I give them a follow. So
Thank
make
you.
sure to give them a follow. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. And AA Run.
There you go. AA Ron.
Yeah.
Do you play any instruments? You play any instruments, or have you played instruments? Or if you don't play instruments, what would be your instrument you would want to play?
I do drums currently, but I used to do cello way back in the day.
Okay. I played a lot of violin
cool.
in my younger days too, and clarinet.
At the end of the day, you just wanted something to hit. That's what we needed. So, well, mine came by accident. It was more so the video game Rock Band that got me into drums because I got so obsessed with just playing it. Back there, we had a different TV back in the day. So my parents did the love stuff, so I was like sitting real low. I had to pretty much put towels down so I didn't get it all sweaty and everything.
Yeah.
But I can do it on expert. I mean, I've aced some songs on expert difficulty. So,
Nice.
so, but as I said, I got to drumming. So I think drums to the day I die, or I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. World needs drummers.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah. Was there anything else? Or is it okay we jump into the last question?
No, we're good.
No.
All right. So here's how I phrase the last question, and either one of you can go first, but here's how it goes. Given the amount of negativity that you have been seeing going on in the world these days, or through social media or the media for that matter, these days people need some sort of hope. So what would be your message of hope for musicians and people out there so that they can move forward with their lives?
Stop letting everyone get to you so much.
Yeah.
Just stop focusing on how everyone else thinks about you and what they might say about you or whatever. Just, I don't know, stay true to yourself.
Yeah. Don't focus on the bullshit. Like so many
It'll
people
take you down with it.
Yeah, so there's so much bullshit that people will advertise to you, especially nowadays. It's for clicks. You know what I mean? And drama and negativity is a great way to get clicks, and you gotta focus on the things that are positive and productive, and not just kind of let yourself kind of go down the rabbit hole of just being, just trying to find problems instead of kind of looking at the positive and appreciating what you have and appreciating, the kind of what you have, that things could be much worse, for a lot of us. And so we kind of, try to kind of ignore and you'll kind of, especially, now you'll see that kind of in our music where we're not really trying to touch on, we're trying, it's fairly universal concepts and things like, I feel like, kind of being against AI takeovers and stuff like that, just kind of for humanity instead of against it, is kind of a universal concept compared to just
trying to be like political or anything like that.
Trying to be trying to just cause any kind of negativity among any kind of people or anything like that. So I just think that a lot of how you live your life and how kind of things affect you is determined on how much you let them affect you, and if you're not, if you're looking to kind of be freaking out all the time, you're gonna be, but if you're trying to focus on the positive, or be productive or contribute something artistically or charitably or whatever that might be, then it's definitely a much better path, and you're not going to be sitting there thinking about the negative all the time. You're going to be kind of focused on your goal.
In that case, spoke like a true prodigy. So all right, but thanks so much for sharing that, boys. It really does mean a lot. So
Thank you.
all right, so Travis and Aaron, we have reached the end of my podcast right here. We talked a little over an hour, but I guess before we close out,
really, that was an hour?
Really?
just about. Hold on, we got it.
That was like 20 minutes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That whole deal. So, all right. But regardless, would you guys like to give any shouts to anybody real quick?
Well, big shout out to Sode Records, the label we're with right now. Thank you for doing everything you're doing for us. Collision Drumsticks, one of my drumstick endorsements. Thank you guys. You guys are killer. The guy that did our last video, Jake Young, thank you. We appreciate everything you've done. The fans, love you. We'll see you at the August 8th show. And other than like my family, thank you for supporting me my whole life. But
yeah, I would shout out my family, shout out my wife Christy and my son Liam. Shout out potential sponsor here.
Yeah.
Shout out the fans, especially. That's really, I would be releasing music by myself, for myself, to myself, if it wasn't for them, and the people out there. So I think that's really kind of one of the biggest ones too, is just the supporters and the people who still want to listen to this music.
Yeah,
that's for sure. And just real quick for the audience, can you mention what social media and stream platforms your music's on and where they can interact with you guys?
Predominantly, if you want to get a hold of us, Instagram, Facebook, probably the best ways. We do have an official Glitchkill website, glitchkillofficial.com, but we're on all streaming platforms, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Spotify. We're on all of it, Deezer.
Amazon
even
Music,
stuff I've never even heard of, we're on there. Like,
so we've got a bunch of videos. We
on our YouTube.
We try to release some form of music video for every song we release, pretty much, and so our YouTube's got quite a bit of videos and stuff on there.
Yeah, stay tuned for all the newer stuff. We have all the old stuff up there, but you're going to hear two different bands if you go up there. Please subscribe, like, follow, share, all that good stuff. We could definitely use it. It really helps, especially the lower level bands. Like I said, it really helps. Even a single view, subscribe, it all helps.
Yeah.
And also good luck this year, because I bet you're booked in August with like 3 shows so far, so maybe you get some more right there.
It was almost 4. So,
well, yeah.
But we said no.
We were actually trying, because we're kind of working on another album right now, so we're trying to avoid being booked like every single weekend, because as people with full-time jobs, the weekends are the only time we really get to work on stuff and kind of write and record and do the stuff we normally do. So if we book shows for every single weekend, then we're putting off other stuff that we got to do.
Yeah.
But on Sunday we release the glitch, or kill the glitch. That's it. So, yeah.
Right on.
All right. I just have to close out like this real quick. So, everyone, my guests today were Aaron and Travis. They're part of the band Glitchkill. You can also catch these boys on the socials and everything, as well as the shows they got coming up in August. Keep your eyes also open for the new material they got coming out here pretty soon. And go follow them on all socials, all streaming platforms. Let's go up our brothers out there, as well as all the other brothers and sisters involved in other bands in their neck of the woods as well. So, Aaron, Travis, thank you again so much again for coming on here, mate. I'll just tell the other boys, good luck.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us, man.
All right, stay safe. Rock on. And lastly, strike a pose for the audience. Stay tuned, yo. Wait, hold it 3 seconds.